That is what he leaves us.
Oh, what's he do?
What's he do? Didn't you see him in the Mac and Adios Amigos with Fred Williamson?
Oh, him. Well, I thought he was much lighter.
You know, I just look at you and I start laughing. Yes, sir. This is crazy, because I was just thinking about you.
You were?
Yeah, I was telling myself, I said, Richard Pryor is going to be the next big black superstar of our time.
Oh, thank you very much.
And I was also telling myself how much I owe you, man, for making me laugh
Thank
so
you.
many times.
I got to
you know,
go.
and I just loved you, man.
Hello, good beans, and welcome back to Midnight Requiem. Today we'll be talking about Shirley Hemphill. Was an American stand-up comedian best known for her role in the comedian sitcom What's Happening? Born and raised in Asheville, she earned her degree in physical education from Morristown College and then returned to her hometown to work in a nylon manufacturing unit. It was while working there that she began to perform as a stand-up comedian, eventually moving to Los Angeles, where she began to perform at this comedy store. Very soon her acts got noticed, and at that age of 29, she debuted on television, banging the role of Shirley Simmons in What's Happening? Later in the same year. Thereafter, she continued appearing on television, sometime in recurring roles and sometime as a guest artist, concurrently traveling across USA to perform in various nightclubs as well at the Laugh Factory Comedy Club in Los Angeles. Hemphill was born in Asheville, North Carolina to Richard and Mozilla Hemphill. She had a brother, William. Hemphill attended Hill Street School and Stephens Lee High School and later won an athletic scholarship to Morristown College, where she majored in physical education. Hemphill returned to Asheville 2 years later and got a job in a factory manufacturing nylons. An aspiring stand-up comedian, Hemphill sent a cassette recorder and a dozen roses. Wilson also invited Hemphill to visit the set of the Flip Wilson Show. After the visit, Hemphill returned to her job in Asheville but decided to pursue a career in comedy instead. She quit her job and traveled to Los Angeles by bus. Hemphill got a job waitressing during the day and performed at the comedy store at night. By 1976, Hemphill's stand-up routine started to get noticed and caught the attention of casting agent Joanne Murray. Murray cast Hemphill in a guest role on Good Times, which led to another guest starring role on All's Fair. After seeing her performance on Good Times, Norman Lear offered Hemphill her own spin-off series, but she turned it down. Instead, she auditioned and won the role of waitress Shirley Wilson on the ABC sitcom What's Happening? Loosely based on Eric Monte's 1975 film Kool-Aid High, the series follows the adventures of three teenage boys: Raj, played by Ernest Thomas, Rerun, played by Fred Berry, and Dwayne, played by Haywood Nelson. Hemphill's character worked at Rob's Place, the restaurant the boys frequented. The series was a modest hit for ABC but was beset with behind-the-scenes problems. In the series' second season, Fred Berry and Ernest Thomas staged a walkout over conditions in their dressing rooms, which they said were unsuitable. During the series' third season, Fred Berry demanded more money and reportedly convinced Ernest Thomas and Haywood Nelson to join him in a strike. Producers opted to cancel the series instead of increasing the actors' salaries. Following the cancellation of What's Happening, Hemphill auditioned for the role of the cook on Archie Bunker's Place, but the role went to Anne Meara. The day after losing the role, Hemphill was offered the starring role in her own sitcom One in a Million. On the series, she portrayed Shirley Simmons, a taxi driver who inherited a huge corporation and fortune from one of her customers. The series debuted on ABC on January 8, 1980, but failed to attract a sufficient audience. ABC canceled the series in June 1980. Afterward, Hemphill spent most of the early 1980s working in nightclubs around the U.S. and making occasional guest appearances on TV shows, including The Love Boat, The Trapper John M.D. In 1985, she was invited to co-star on the revival of What's Happening? entitled What's Happening Now, which aired in syndication from 1985 to 1988. After What's Happening Now ended its 3-year run, she again worked in the nightclub scene and doing the occasional acting gig on a number of 90s comedy sitcoms, including Martin and the Wayans Bros. In 1993, she appeared in her first movie, CB4, which starred Chris Rock. 2 years later, she co-starred in her second movie, Shoot the Moon, starring Whitney Anderson. Throughout her career, Hemphill performed her stand-up routine on a number of popular TV shows, including The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, A&E's An Evening at Improv, BET's Black Comedy Showcase, and Black Comedy Tonight. She was also a regular at the Laugh Factory Comedy Club in Los Angeles. A year before her death, Hemphill appeared in an episode of The Jenny Jones Show and What's Happening reunion show. Actors Ernest Thomas and Haywood Nelson also appeared. On December 10, 1999, Hemphill was found dead at her home in West Covina, California, age 52. Her body was discovered by a gardener who looked through a window and saw her lying on her bedroom floor. An autopsy determined that Hemphill died of kidney failure. She was cremated.
Hey, Shirley, what about my change?
Change? She you gave me $3. The bill was $2.95, and you want change? Here, take the thing back. Here. What are you gonna have, Dwayne?
I don't care.
I know you don't care. You eating here.
As always, my good being, be loving, caring to each other. Please make sure to like the video, subscribe, and leave comments. Have a wonderful day.